Wow.
On this week's Bondi Vet Top 5.
This piece of metal is wrapped really tight around its back tooth.
I've never seen it. I don't think I've even read about that.
And then we're going to need to try to remove it, probably with a pair of bolt cutters, actually.
It's quite unbelievable.
At number 5 today.
Hey, fine, how you doing? How's everything? Nova, yes.
In Atlanta, Georgia, an anxious Nova is waiting to see Arvid with her family, James, Skylar and Chandler.
So you want to go home, don't you?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Well,
Dr. Edward.
Jamie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Nova?
This is Nova.
Nova. How you doing? She's like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
I already know.
The 9-month-old Labrador has been brought in after her owners noticed a strange lump growing inside her mouth.
It was like a little bubble in her mouth. It was like a marble size, and then it grew to like a kiwi size.
You can see it protruding
Underneath
there.
Oh yeah, you can feel it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get her on the table here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get one of my assistants to help me hold. Okay. And I'm gonna just look in that mouth a little bit more.
Okay.
There we go.
Good girl.
Over here. It's okay. Nova. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to be scared. I know.
There you go, girl.
Wow.
Yeah, you can definitely see the big bubble right here. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. So as I'm looking under the tongue and I see this large, soft structure, I immediately knew that we were dealing with the salivary mucocele. What that means is that the saliva has formed in a pocket of this tissue. That results from a damaged or a torn salivary duct that's coming from the salivary gland.
Okay.
All right? Okay. It can happen in a number of cases. Like a choke collar, like if you have a choke collar on her and she's constantly pulling, that can cause a damage or a rupture. A foreign body, like chewing on a stick or a toy. You say that's probably what it is.
Probably what it is.
That's probably what it is.
I'm sure that's probably what it is because she puts everything in her mouth.
So this salivary mucocele that's in Nova's mouth needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed immediately because these mucoceles can get very large and occlude the airways, making it a respiratory distress. If that happens, it can become a life-threatening situation.
Okay.
We don't want to get there.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I know my dog's gonna be fine. The dog gonna take good care of her. That's my pup.
So we don't want Nova in any more pain or discomfort than she needs to be, which is why I'm gonna go ahead, get her in surgery today, and get this salivary mucocele taken care of.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, see you, girl.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
You see that? And all that is just full of saliva. We need to get that thing out of there. What were you chewing on, huh? You're not gonna tell me?
I don't know.
You're not gonna tell me? Doing surgeries on pets like this is very rewarding, but in Nova's case, because she's so stinking cute, that's another reason why I'm glad I'm able to help her. Don't get me wrong, if she wasn't stinking cute, I'd still help her. But she is stinking cute. All right, we're gonna make you feel better. Yeah, make you feel better.
But before the much-needed surgery can start, there's a problem with the anaesthetic.
Check that too.
Once the initial tracheal tube was in Nova, she kept waking up. It's a bad tube. I could definitely hear a defect, almost like there was a hole in it. We have a defective tube. Putting another trach tube in. Okay, close. We got a new one in. Everything's good. So here you can see the mass right in her lower jaw region. Yeah, this thing is getting big. Looks like it's getting big by the minute.
The surgery involves two parts. First, Arvid must remove the salivary gland from Nova's lower jaw.
About to make my incision. The problem is that it's really close to the jugular vein, so you got to be really careful because you don't want to cut the jugular vein. As I'm in there trying to get the salivary gland out, I see the jugular vein right to the side of it, and I knew that I had to be very careful. Just taking your time, working your way down. If I was to cut that jugular vein, that could be game over for Nova. We're getting there. You can see the gland is just starting to work its way out of here. And there's the gland and the duct.
The next step is to take out the saliva-filled bubble under her tongue.
Can you go ahead and hook that suction up for me? Yes. I'm gonna make an incision into the bubble, if you will, and I'm gonna suture or stitch the areas of the tissue to the sides of the walls in her mouth. And that's gonna leave that mucocil or that bubble open, and it's gonna heal from within. The tongue is a very vascular area, which means it bleeds a lot. As I get in her mouth and look under that tongue, I still can't believe that she was walking around, eating, drinking, playing with this large mucocil under her tongue. So we're gonna throw one more suture in and then I'll be all done. Now that the surgery's over, it's time to recover Nova, get her up and ready to go so she can go home and be with her family tonight.
Okay, sweetheart.
So my dad and my sister are pretty busy, so I came to get my dog, Nova. So hopefully she's doing well after the surgery, so I'm really excited to get her when she comes back.
Always want them to look nice before they go home. Here comes Nova. This way, this way. Right here.
How you doing? You got the cone on your head?
Surgery went well. No complications, went pretty straightforward. And we're gonna leave that cone on pretty much till the sutures come out.
Okay.
You're gonna go on to live your normal life now. Yeah? I know. The surgery was a success. Nova's gonna heal up and go on to live a normal life, just as long as she leaves those sticks alone.
Good girl, come here.
Number 4.
He's 7 months old.
On the Gold Coast, young Border Collie Apollo has been rushed into Gerardo.
Good boy.
Apollo's been brought down to us today because his owners found metal stuck around his back tooth.
He was outside in the garden today. We have no idea what it could even be or where it's from.
Owner Lani acted quickly when she saw Apollo in trouble.
It's quite concerning, so I definitely had to rush in today. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Okay. One little quick peek if we can.
You can see it's stuck in the side there. It's gone right into his gum.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely something there. That is not going to be easy to remove. If you don't get that out, there's a possibility it could stay there and actually burn down into the bone, or if he actually swallows it, that could actually perforate his stomach. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Small little needle. Small little needle. Good boy. Good boy.
Boy.
Oh, you're a brave man. Okay. I've given Apollo some pain relief and he'll soon feel a lot better, but there's no way that he will allow us to remove that without an anesthetic. Okay, Apollo, it's all right. Give some time for that pain relief to kick in. There we go. There you go. Stay there.
He's naughty.
He's so cheeky.
Because he's cute, he thinks he can get away with like a lot of things. But it works. But you fell in love with him like straight away. So you started to be like, I love him so much.
Cute.
Yeah.
Now that Apollo's had his pain relief, we can give some time for that to kick in and develop a plan. Oh wow. Yeah, definitely something there. Hey matey. Oh, good boy. Time to try to get that thing out of your mouth, yeah?
Gerardo's worried that if he doesn't remove the metal quickly, Apollo could swallow it and perforate his intestine.
Good boy. Let's replace an IV catheter. This will enable us to give him anaesthetic so that we can have a look in his mouth and hopefully remove that metal object.
Very brave.
Almost there. Oxygen's on. Anaesthetic is on. My concerns are that this piece of metal is wrapped really tight around his back tooth and it could be pretty difficult to remove. Oh, look at that. Ow. That is one side of a U-shaped clip. That has pushed through his gum. Must be painful. I think I'm gonna have to cut it off. So what we'll do is we'll flip it up this way and I'll get the bolt cutters and then we'll try to get that off. Got the cutters.
Could you get any smaller ones?
Yeah, I could. But these ones, I like these ones because nice and precisely cut something without having to use your wrists. Okay, you ready? Hold them still. Hold them still. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
See? Nice and easy. There we go. It was like this. Somehow he swallowed that and went over his tooth, and these edges here, these little indents here, went on either side of his molar and burred away at the gum and also at the bone there. Now that the clip has been removed, I can see that the bone has been burred away and the root of his tooth is exposed. I'm hoping that the gum will heal back over, otherwise Apollo may need to have that tooth removed. The only thing we can do now is give it time and see if that heals. So let's wake Apollo up, but I'm fairly certain he'll be happy that that's off his tooth now.
Definitely.
Here we go. Good boy, good boy. Good boy, Apollo. There we go. Good boy. Once Apollo's up and walking around, we're going to offer him some food and make sure that he's able to eat on that side. And if he's okay with that, he should be fine to go home. Oh, Apollo.
3 hours later, Apollo has woken up from his anaesthetic.
We got some chicken. I just offered Apollo some chicken and he hoovered it down. And he didn't have any signs of pain. And I checked his gum and there doesn't seem to be bits of chicken stuck in it, so he should be fine to go home now. Good boy.
Now that it's over and done with, I feel relieved. Definitely excited to have Apollo back. We've been waiting by the phone, seeing when we can come get him, so we're excited to see him.
Apollo's relieved owners, Lani and Dakota, are keen to take their cheeky boy home.
Mummy and Daddy are in here. Apollo, get this way. Oh,
You're so silly.
So, it was...
Oh my goodness.
Like that. That must have been there for like at least a couple weeks, I think.
My goodness.
For it to go to that degree.
Thank you so much. Oh.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all, guys.
This week's number 3.
Hello, Rachel. We've just come down from Port Macquarie with Archie.
Oh, okay, yes, certainly. If you just want to take a seat, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Worried dog owners Leah and Steve have just made a 5-hour mercy dash from northern New South Wales.
We just have to sit and wait now, Archie.
Their much-loved poodle Archie has an alarming condition.
I woke up and I thought he had a ball in his mouth because he had his mouth open when he was running around the house. But then I realised he didn't have a ball in his mouth. So then I called Leah.
So I immediately put my hand down his throat, thinking he had something stuck. Couldn't find anything, so we hopped in the car and brought him down. And he still can't close his mouth.
Come on, Arch.
Hey, just go here.
Leah and Steve are hoping Lisa can tell them what's wrong.
Hey, buddy. Can you sit down for me?
Sit, Arch. Good boy.
Oh, wow, that really doesn't close, does it?
It's fairly unusual to see a dog that can't shut its mouth. There are a few possible causes, but I really need to take a look at him to work out what's going on.
So he can certainly move his tongue, and he seems like he can swallow, which is good as well. So that movement is working. The nerves that supply the tongue are working.
I'm feeling along Archie's jaw bones, and it does feel quite uneven. One side there's a bony bulge that is not present on the other.
Perhaps he's dislocated his jaw. He's popped his jaw out of place. The other possibility is that there is some sort of a growth there,
right,
like a tumour. We're hoping it's not that, but he's a middle-aged dog, so I can't rule out something that's more
And he has been off colour.
To work out exactly what's going on, Lisa wants to take a CT scan of Archie's skull immediately.
We're hoping it's nothing serious, nothing life-threatening. We're hoping it's just a simple accident.
Archie, hop up, up, up. Good boy. Oh, you're a good helper, Archie.
First, Archie has to be anaesthetised for the urgent CT scan.
I'm just gonna make you fall asleep now. Good boy, it's okay. You go down.
I'm hoping that it's a dislocated jaw, because if it is, we can pop it back in place. If it's not, and there's something like a tumour, well, that's not going to be very good for Archie at all.
Okay, let's do it.
Did you see anything obvious?
The case is so unusual, Lisa has again called in specialist surgeon Dr. Andrew Marchevsky.
God, I've never seen it. I don't think I've even read about that happening.
We've got Archie's CT results, and it's quite unbelievable.
Where you can see this part of the jaw is actually sitting level or just slightly outside. It should be sitting in here like that, and it's sitting up here. Don't know how he's done that.
Archie has dislocated his jaw, but he hasn't done it in the regular up or down fashion. He's dislocated it to the side. So part of his jawbone is actually sitting on the outside of his cheekbone. Andrew and I have never seen anything like it.
His whole jaw has sort of just gone that way. But I guess the good thing is it looks like it's a trauma. There's no evidence of cancer or a lump or something that shouldn't be there.
And there's no broken bones or anything.
No, he hasn't.
So hopefully you can just pop it back into place.
Pop it back into place.
Just like that.
Magic hands. I think the best thing we can do for Archie is just manipulate it back into the right spot, because if we can't do that, then we're faced with going to surgery, and that's going to be much worse for him. All right, so what I've got to do, I think we're going to have to open up his jaw, try and drag it open, put a bit of stretch on it for a little while, and then just see if we can drag it back in, because it's pretty tight. All right, well, let's see how we go with this.
Andrew's holding Archie's jaw, and he's using quite a lot of force to try and put it back into place. And I'm thinking maybe it's not going to go right.
Oh, yeah.
Done?
I think so.
It's moving?
Yeah.
And that's good. Great.
So we'll just see if we can open it up and just see. Nah, gee, it goes.
So it pops straight back out?
Yeah. Whilst his jaw went back together pretty easily, it comes out pretty easily as well, and I've been able to do that. So the problem we've got now is keeping it in the right spot. You know what we're going to have to do? I think if we pop a muzzle on him, and just keep that on for a couple of weeks, because I think the way he's going, if he opens his mouth up too wide again too soon, it'll just pop back out again.
Okay.
And I mean, if that happens, then we really will have to go to surgery to sort of...
Pin it in place.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
For devoted owners Steve and Leah, it's been an agonising wait.
Come through. Okay. So we did the CT scan, and it shows that
He actually had a really severely dislocated jaw. It was like locked in place. And the good news is we managed to pop it back in.
Thank God. He's all right?
He's okay. So he's awake. And
can we see him?
You can see him.
When Lisa said it wasn't a tumour, a huge weight lifted off us because that was what was in the back of our mind.
So the patient is just down here.
Oh, Archie. Hello, mate. Hello. It's all good. Told you we'd get you fixed. Hey, you're my good boy.
It's joy.
Yeah, it is. Pure joy. We've got our boy back.
Yeah, we have. We can take him home tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for what you've done.
My pleasure.
You're a good boy. Give me a cuddle.
Hey, Archie. Hi, buddy. How you going? Hey, where you going? Hey, you want to bolt out of the door with that muzzle on? Hey? So it's pretty obvious that Archie's doing really well. I think he wants to get out of the door, so that's where we're going.
Owners Leah and Steve are also excited to see their special boy.
Looking forward to seeing him this morning. We'll know when Archie comes out that door how he's feeling.
What a reunion. Archie is jumping all over Leah and Steve. They are so happy that he is fully recovered and they cannot wait to get him out the door. What muzzle, huh?
Yeah, what muzzle?
He doesn't even know that it's there. Because Archie has had such a severe dislocation in his jaw, it's really, really important that we keep a muzzle on him to try and hold his jaw back in place while those jaw muscles heal up.
Lisa, thank you so much for what you've done for him. It's been great. You've done everything so well. It's been wonderful.
All right, mister. He's out the door.
I know.
You better go after him.
He knows where the door is. I'm very relieved to be taking Archie home and very relieved that it's all over. They've actually done a fantastic job here, so we're very grateful.
Bye, sweetie.
Come on, Archie, I'm off.
Good boy.
Number 2.
Hi.
At the Animal Emergency Service on the Gold Coast, Nathan and Natalie have brought in their German Shepherd cross, Ralph. He's had a nasty encounter with a fishhook.
Are you guys all right to bring him through?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
All right, come on, Ralph.
Let's go, Ralph.
6-year-old Ralph has a fishhook caught in his tongue, and they're hoping Dr. Alex Hines can remove it.
He's obviously licked the hook because the hook had no food on it.
No.
So he's licked it, but in licking it, he's caught it in the left side of his tongue. So we could see where it was, and it hadn't gone all the way through.
Thank goodness he didn't swallow it. That would have been a whole different story. Hey, Ralph. But it's obviously irritating him because he keeps trying to lick it. For Ralph to get a fish hook through his tongue, that must have been so painful. Apparently, he let out a huge yelp, and I don't blame him. It's not a great situation, but yeah, it could have been much worse if he'd swallowed it. What I'm going to do for him is I'm going to give him a little bit of pain relief, and it'll also act as a bit of sedation as well, because he's pretty anxious here now.
He's an anxious dog anyway.
Is he?
He's on tablets every day.
He's on a plan for anxiety, basically, in dogs.
Takes anti-anxiety medication every day.
We'll work out a plan of how we're going to get that hook out of there.
That's all right, Ralph. You stay here with us. Jump in. Jump, Ralph.
Ralph is like, I'm not moving.
You all right, Ralph? Good boy. See Mum and Dad soon.
It's okay.
Good boy, Ralph. I think we're going to have to go very slow and steady with this boy because he is just anxious. And look at him, he's just looking back for his mum and dad.
Super anxious, aren't you, Ralphie? Hey?
Oh, that's got to hurt. It's hard to actually tell whether it's gone through his lip or it's actually into his tongue because he keeps moving around. It could have been much worse. If he'd swallowed the fish hook, we'd be trying to get it out of his stomach. The fact it's in his lip, this isn't a great day for Ralph, but it could be worse. All right, well, let me get him some pain relief.
Yeah.
Give him a good dose because he's going to need something. He's a very worried boy, aren't you? You're a very worried boy.
It's all right.
Good boy. Doesn't hurt nearly as much as that fish hook, does it? At this stage, the plan's probably going to be to get Ralph nice and sedated. And then we're going to need to try to remove it, probably with a pair of bolt cutters, actually, to snip through the fishhook and remove it. If it does go through his tongue, it's going to bleed quite a lot because the tongue bleeds. So we're going to need to control the bleeding, get the fishhook out.
There you go.
But he's probably going to need some heavy sedation. He's not just going to let us put our hands in there and pull it out. Hey, Ralphie. It's your turn, mate. Oh, good boy. Yeah, I don't know quite how we all go on this bench because he's a bit of a worry wart.
The German Shepherd Cross suffers from anxiety.
Good dog.
So he'll need to be put under a general anaesthetic before Dr. Alex and vet nurse Lee can start trying to remove the hook.
At the property where Ralph lives, he looks after the ducks, the chickens, the geese, even the kids. He takes his job very seriously. In fact, he's on anti-anxiety medication because he's just constantly on the lookout. He is such an anxious boy, they really want to have him home tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Because they just don't think he'll cope with a night in hospital.
Yeah.
And even now, he's just...
He seems real stressed.
Really stressed.
You're okay, mate.
While Alex tries to calm Ralph down, it's a nervous wait for his owners, Nathan and Natalie.
He was in shock, but then he was bouncing up and down, like he was, what's going on? Why is it hurting? And then he would start crying, and then, of course, there was blood coming out of his mouth.
Good boy. There you go. Are we ready? Little sleep. Hopefully when you wake up, it'll be all gone. Good boy.
With the sedation taking effect, Ralph finally starts to relax.
He's taking a lot of anaesthetic, I think just because he's so wound up.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot just to get him to sleep. Off you go. Good boy.
Do you want to help flip now?
Dr. Alex has been debating exactly how to get the fishhook out safely and is keen to get advice from colleague Dr. Lachlan, who's done similar procedures in the past.
Ralphie's got the fishhook and it's actually in the tongue, but the barb's not out the other side. So I was thinking of pushing it through so the barb's out and then cutting off the barb.
That technique certainly does work.
Yeah.
I have seen that being used. In my previous job, I have seen quite a few cases similar to this. And one of the other vets out there showed me a technique which is relatively not so traumatic of having to push it through the other way.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes it works pretty well. So I can't guarantee it'll definitely go to plan, but I'm thinking that usually it's always worked very well for me in the past. If you want, I'm happy to show it to you tonight.
Yeah, well, how can you describe what you do exactly?
Yeah, sure. So if we can imagine this is our tongue here, okay? And we've got this fish hook coming in through this point here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, which is, it's embedded in the tongue.
Okay, so either you've got to try and push that all the way through to the other side, clip it off, and then get it all the way out.
Yeah.
The other alternative, how I've sort of managed it, is essentially we get like a pair of either needle drivers or forceps and basically grab a hold of this section here, okay, with that, and then pretty much in exactly 180 degrees the other way, we just get a bit of suture material and we wrap that around this point here.
Okay.
And now, with this side, while we're stabilising this, we're going to pull very quickly and firmly
in that
the opposite direction the other way. And we see, for some reason, it just, with the barb hook, it seems to cause less trauma, and it can usually come out in a matter of a few seconds once we get it going.
Really?
Yep. Well, we'll see how it goes tonight. If you're happy to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm happy to give it a go. And yeah, I've never seen that done before, but if that works,
cool.
Let's do it. Let's give it a go.
Excellent.
Look how swollen it is. That's nasty. Oh, that's going to be sore.
It's going to need a good flushing afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll get you to maybe hold it for me, because I'll probably get...
Yeah, you tell me what you need me to do.
Almost just hold the tongue for me like this.
Yep.
Okay, then I'll essentially have one hand over here, and I'll be wrapping the other bit here, and I'm just going to go like that, the other way.
Not going to stick the fishing hook in my hand.
No, I don't think so. We stand in the right direction. It should be no end.
All right.
I think it should be safe.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's do it. You feeling confident?
We'll see how we go.
Alex was thinking about cutting the hook, but Lachlan's technique involves holding the shank end firmly, while the curved end is pulled in the opposite direction, causing less damage as the hook comes out.
I'm really glad that Ralphie's asleep. I don't think he'd put up with this if he was awake.
No, definitely not.
This is not pleasant. All right.
All right. So, when I say 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
we're going to pull.
Okay, just a minute. Yep, okay.
You got it? And 3, 2, done. Out.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
And one go.
Wow.
Now it just needs a really good flush because there's still going to be some nasty sort of bacteria in there, but you can see pretty easy with not too much trauma at all.
Really good.
Dr. Lachlan has managed to remove the hook cleanly, leaving the German Shepherd with a good chance at a quick recovery.
I'm so impressed. When Lockie first told me about this technique, I wasn't sure it was going to work. It sounded a bit dodgy, but sorry, mate, but I didn't know. I've never seen anything like that done before. Normally, we push the hook through and we cut the barb off, and basically in doing that, we're creating another hole out the other side of the tongue. But with Lockie's technique, we're able to pull it out, and Ralphie's only got the one hole.
If we can find an easier way to do things without more complications, absolutely. And it's worked for me just about every time, so I keep doing it.
Yeah. Good job, mate.
The next important step is a saline rinse to clean the wound and help reduce the risk of infection.
That's heaps, eh?
Yep.
All right, cool. I can wake him up. All right. That was incredibly impressive. I can't believe he just pulled it out. We've got one hole. I reckon that'll heal up in no time. That looks really good. Hey, Ralphie, you go back to guarding your family. Ralph just needs a little bit of time to wake up. It's nearly midnight, but I've just heard that the whole family are coming down, even the kids. There's no way they were going to stay away. All right, back to bed? Back to bed. All right, come on, Ralphie, let's go. Hey, Mr. Ralph. You're looking good. You ready to go home?
Ralph has woken up after the fishhook removal surgery, and he's well enough to go home.
The whole family wanted to be part of this reunion. Natalie put the kids to bed, set the alarm, and woke them up so they could all come down tonight.
He's a lovely dog, absolutely.
He adores my family.
Come on. Come on, Ralphie.
He does his job in terms of protecting.
He adores
and
all the
he's
animals.
very good with the kids, and that's all we can ask for.
Hey, baby.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Come here. I'm doing. I missed you.
It was such a lovely moment to see Aiden with Ralphie. It was Aiden's fishing rod that Ralphie got hooked on, and the poor boy has been so worried all day that he nearly killed his best friend. What do you guys think?
Amazing. He's a very awesome dog.
All right, he takes cuddles and hugs very well, doesn't he?
He does.
His cuddles.
Very important. The centre of attention.
All that's left now is to take Ralph home so he can get back to work guarding their menagerie of farm animals.
Aiden, can I say goodbye to him? Yeah? See you later, Ralphie. Hey, you good boy. Look after your family, because they love you very much. Hey? All right, you guys take him home?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything.
No worries, Nat.
And this week's number one.
I'm on my way up to Newcastle to see the family, but before I get up there, I really wanted to make a special stop off. I got a letter from a girl called Jess, who's got a dog who's not even 2 years old yet, called Boris. He's had some really serious troubles. She sounds pretty desperate, so I'm really hoping I can help out in some way.
Big guy. We're getting to know each other, are we? Huh?
Boris was born with a cleft palate, a genetic deformity which leaves a dangerous hole between the roof of the mouth and the softer palate behind it.
Is it true? Are you a tough guy? You've had to be a tough guy, haven't you?
Puppies born with this affliction are normally euthanased immediately. That's exactly what would have happened to Boris if vet nurse Jess Warby hadn't stepped in.
It was quite stressful. A lot of us didn't know if he would survive. We had to put a tube into his stomach every 2 hours to inject milk to feed him, and it was touch and go.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. He would have had quite a few infections, I'd imagine, along the way.
He gets them quite regularly.
Just from the food pushing up into his nasal cavity and carrying bugs.
In his short life, Boris has endured 7 operations.
He's had ear cartilage harvested to try and fix a hole that didn't work. He's had a plate fashioned, like holes drilled in his gums, and that also didn't work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If I don't do anything, he will get to the point where he'll just be very sick, and yeah, it'll be time for him not to be with us any longer, which is really scary for me.
Good boy. Good boy.
Chris will now arrange for Jess and Boris to meet with surgeon Andrew Marchevsky at SASH.
So basically, you're my last hope.
It's no pressure.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
Very excited, aren't you? Yes.
Jess has arrived at SASH to find out Boris's fate.
One way or the other, I'm going to know which way it's going to go. So, scared in case it's not good news. He's my life.
Surgeon Andrew Marchevsky and dental expert Nadine Fiani are the team in charge of Boris's future.
Wow, it's quite the hole.
3D scans show Boris's condition is much worse than anybody expected.
He's got a loss of bone basically from his nose all the way down to the back of his throat, but it's actually probably about twice the size of the actual hole that we can see. We're going to have to be creative and radical to try and get this closed. We've got to give it a red hot go.
In all honesty, I think what we could do is actually extract these teeth, so we might have to stage the procedure.
It will be the first time this groundbreaking surgery has ever been attempted in Australia.
What we'll do is extract these teeth,
Take these out.
Take them out. Take them right out. Once that all heals, it'll allow us to have an extra centimetre of tissue that we can close up with, and a centimetre goes a really long way in the mouth.
Well, I think we can do something.
You do? Really?
Yeah. It's not going to be easy,
Okay.
and it's going to take a while, and
Okay.
it's not going to be one procedure.
Okay.
I think we can do it.
You think you...
I think we can do it.
Well, that was more than I was expecting to hear.
I've got to tread very carefully with this because Jess has come here with high hopes and low expectations, and I don't want to give a false hope. It's nice to get an opportunity to get something as bad as this sorted, so.
You say that now. You don't know what you're getting into. Thank you so much.
All right, Jess.
Thank you.
This is his last chance. If we can't do this now, it's not going to get done. So it's going to be tough.
It's a big decision. They just need to raise so much money. And that's why I'm heading up to see them again today. They've got their local doggy day out on, and I'm hoping I can lend a hand with some of the fundraising. Should be fun.
In money for Boris to have an operation. Yep. Would they're $1 each or $65?
In New South Wales Hunter Valley, Jess is hard at work selling raffle tickets.
Hey, Boris, it's a big day, buddy. It's a big fundraising day. We're raising plenty of money with kisses. Is that what you're doing? Is that how you're doing it, is it? Huh?
Hopefully everyone understands it's for him and he can stay with me forever then, instead of just a short time.
Who wants to buy a raffle ticket? Yep. I'm already going here.
$1 each or $6 or $5? Yeah, I'll get you some change.
I'd like to donate $20.
Yeah, good on you. Thank you.
For a kiss.
For a kiss. Who gets the kiss? Is it... Do I get the kiss or you? There you go. Easiest $20 I ever made, or Boris ever made.
Happy birthday, Boris!
Happy birthday, Boris.
There's another reason to celebrate today. It's Boris's 2nd birthday.
Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
And right now, he has no idea what lies ahead.
Look at him go!
It's been a massive challenge for Jess to bring up a dog like Boris. But to now try to raise money, this has been one hell of a mountain to climb for her. She's doing well so far, but it's not over yet. Yes, and I will eat more cake. That's enough, Boris.
Hi, Jess. How are you? Hi, Boris. How's a good boy?
The day has finally arrived for the first of Boris's radical operations.
I'm a little bit scared to get my hopes up too high and get my heart broken again. Okay, you be a good boy.
All right, Jess, you be brave too.
Thank you.
All right, come on, Boris.
Bye.
Good boy. Oh, I'm happy to leave. Yeah, come on.
If today's surgery doesn't work, Boris is on limited time.
What we're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. The actual real hole is probably twice that size because there's no bone underneath this, which there should be.
Dental surgeon Nadine Fiani is heading the revolutionary operation.
We are going to take the teeth away in order to give ourselves as much tissue to be able to close that hole off. And at the moment, it's really the teeth that are standing in our way to reach all that lovely, lovely, healthy tissue in the cheeks.
But his teeth are perfectly healthy, and so they're in there rock solid. And it's not just one tooth, there's 9 or 10 we're going to have to take out like this.
In this case, a little bit of muscle does help.
Boris's smile may never be the same, but he's been left with enough teeth to be able to eat normally.
Oh my God. Right, it came. Bone is intact. Okay, so that was the last one. I am absolutely thrilled with how everything went today. There were definitely difficult extractions, but I think we got everything out and we managed to conserve as much bone as possible. And that's the most important thing because that's going to be our scaffold next time.
Basically, we've done half the job now. The really important part's what we've got to do in a few weeks' time, and that's actually close the hole. How you go? It puts a bit of pressure on because it's not fixed yet. I'm sure Jess knows this is her last crack at it, and it's Boris's last crack at it as well.
Papa!
Hi, Boris.
Hello!
Say hello to your mum. Come on. Out you come.
Oh, Papa! Yeah, a month to wait. Means one more procedure. One more.
Fingers crossed.
If this fails, we're done. You know, we can't do anything else.
Oh, good boy. You're pretty keen.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you
No,
again.
this should be the last time.
I hope so. No offence.
It's 3 weeks since Boris had 10 teeth removed in readiness for today's final and most important surgery.
Last night in bed, I might have had a few little dark thoughts about the what if and if something goes wrong, but we've fought too hard and he's fought his whole life, so he's here against all odds.
Come on, buddy.
Bye, Bubba. No, you need to go.
You gotta go, buddy. Come on.
Be good.
Come on, Boris.
Be
Come on,
good.
buddy. Come on.
This is the last chance to fix the dangerous hole in his mouth.
The tricky thing about today is that it's not like 95% of the work has been done and we're almost there. This is the hardest operation, the trickiest operation, and the operation that's probably most prone to failure.
Yeah, Nadine kept it quite quiet, but this hasn't been done very often. Did you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm quite nervous about it.
Boris has had so many different operations and so many different people along the way trying to help him out, but the situation has now become so desperate. We're having to do an operation that's never been done in Australia before, and it's only the second time in the world.
And just undermined all that tissue so we can then just flip it across and just go over the hole there. And then we'll be able to suture that to the bone on this side, and then we'll suture another flap of tissue over the top of that.
The surgery is slow and painstaking. After a marathon 4 hours, it's finally complete.
Righto.
Awesome.
We're done.
Well done, guys. I was going to say, I have my doubts, but it's, in terms of how it would look, but it's...
Ye of little faith.
It
Dr.
actually,
Brown.
it looks very good. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
You know, you were hoping for a good result?
Yeah?
You just got it.
Oh my God, are you serious? How good of a result? Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. He's gone really well.
Really?
Yeah, really
There
well.
was plenty of tissue?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's taken a lot of work from a lot of people to get to this moment, but honestly, the only thanks any of us needed was to see Jess's face.
Oh, I can't believe it's all done. It's all done, it's all over, and it's good. Oh, Papa!
Oh, you look sore.
He looks tired, doesn't he? You just can't forget it's been such a long and a really tough journey to get to this point. And even though Jess wasn't in that surgery today, it was her that fixed Boris. She saw something in him from the start that was worth saving. She wouldn't take no for an answer, and today she got a reward.
2 months later, Boris is fully recovered and the ordeal is finally over for Jess.
I think he's better looking now. Now he's got the fangers out, it makes him look tougher. I know. It's done, he's fixed. Now we can just relax and just enjoy life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen now to continue watching more great content.